Hi, people. Today we are uncovering one of the world's strangest mysteries, a modern metropolis in the middle of the desert.
This metropolis was designed to be China's crown jewel, but instead, it became known as the city with no people.
Stay with me, because once you hear the story of this city, you'll start questioning the cities we live right now.
Imagine walking through a city built for over 1 million people and finding yourself completely alone. Streetlights flicker at dusk, highways stretch endlessly, towers of glass and steel scrape the desert sky. But listen closely. There are no footsteps, no voices, no life, only silence. This is Ordos, China. China's billion-dollar city that almost no one lives in, the richest ghost city on Earth. And today, we're not just asking why it was built, we're asking something stranger. What happens when a city is alive on paper, but dead in reality? To understand Ordos, we need to go back. The year is 1999. Inner Mongolia isn't the first place you'd expect to find skyscrapers. It's coal country, dry, dusty, but rich, very rich. By the early 2000s, Ordos was sitting on a black fortune, coal mines worth billions. The local government had a vision. Why should Beijing and Shanghai have all the glory? Why can't Inner Mongolia show the world that it too can host a modern metropolis? And so, they unveiled a dream city, Ordos Kangbashi. Not a village, not a suburb, a brand new city carved out of the desert. 140 square miles of futuristic urban planning. It would house 1 million people. It would be China's next great frontier. But here's the catch. What happens when a city is built not for people, but for money? Construction began in the early 2000s. Billions poured in. Apartment towers sprouted like weeds in the desert sand. Government workers were offered incentives to move here. Schools were built, theaters opened, government buildings polished in marble. From the ground, Kangbashi looked unstoppable, a futuristic skyline in the middle of nowhere. But here's where the story takes a strange turn. While apartments went up, people did not. The developers had sold units, yes, but mostly to investors, not families. Investors weren't buying homes to live in. They were buying bricks to flip for profit. And so, entire neighborhoods sold out before they were even finished. But sold out doesn't mean moved in. So, how do you build the world's richest city and end up with no one to live in it? Walk through Kangbashi today and you'll see a paradox. Roads wide enough for tanks, a library shaped like an open book, a sports stadium glistening under the sun. But the echoes here are louder than the people. Streetlights blink for no traffic. Bus stops stand guard for no commuters. At night, neon lights flicker to life, but the shadows they cast fall on empty sidewalks. And the strangest part? None of this is abandoned. It's not a ruin. It's pristine. Ordos looks brand new, but it feels unfinished.
Like a stage built for actors that never showed up. Which begs the question, is Ordos really a city or just an illusion? The truth behind Ordos isn't just urban planning gone wrong. It's about economics. In China's 2000s boom years, property wasn't just a place to live. It was the ultimate investment. Local governments thrived on selling land to developers. Developers thrived on selling apartments to investors. And investors, well, they expected endless growth. Ordos became a symbol of what happens when real estate turns into speculation. On paper, it was one of the richest cities in China. In reality, it was a hollow vault. Even today, some apartments here cost more than those in bustling Beijing. But what good is an apartment if no one lives in it? So is Ordos a failure, or is it a waiting game? Not everyone stayed away. Slowly, a trickle of life seeped in. A few thousand residents, mostly government workers, a few teachers, business owners. But for them, life here feels surreal. Imagine living in a city designed for 1 million, but with only a few thousand neighbors. You know everyone because there's barely anyone to know. The silence follows you everywhere. Some call it peaceful, others call it eerie. Kids play soccer on school fields built for hundreds. Shopkeepers wait in gleaming malls where no one comes. What does it mean to be a pioneer in a city that may never wake up? Ordos isn't alone. Around the world, ghost cities rise like mirages. Quilamba in Angola, Naypyidaw in Myanmar, Forest City in Malaysia. Each a glittering promise turned empty stage. Why do they happen? Because sometimes cities are built for ambition, not for people. They are showcases, investments, symbols, but cities at their heart are about community. Without it, you're left with monuments, not neighborhoods. Which raises the haunting question: how many cities of tomorrow will become the ghost towns of today? So what now? Ordos is not abandoned. In fact, life is slowly growing. Businesses, schools, even tourism. Some say it will eventually fill in. Others believe it will forever remain a half-empty dream. The coal money that built it is running out. China's real estate bubble is shaking. And Ordos stands at the crossroads. Either it becomes a living city or a monument to hubris. Cities are more than steel and concrete. They are built on laughter, footsteps, and stories. And until Ordos finds those, it will remain a question mark in the middle of the desert. A city alive on paper, but dead in reality. Today, Ordos is not as empty as it once was. Slowly, families are moving in, businesses are setting up, but it still carries the ghost of its past. From a billion-dollar dream to a ghost city, and now, maybe, a city rising again. The story of Ordos is not finished. It's still being written. And maybe one day, history will call it a miracle, not a mistake. So the next time you walk through your city's crowded streets, remember there's a place across the world where silence rules instead of noise, where an entire city waits for people who may never come. And if you thought Ordos was fascinating, wait till you see the other cities like it. Subscribe, hit the bell, and join us on our next journey, because the world is full of cities with stories they don't want you to hear.